lovely lady has decided to come up here and be our guinea pig.
Sure.
Your name is?
My name is Emmy, and I'm here from Kansas City.
Yay! I know we did want to do Kansas City once.
And I missed it. I was in college.
And we only did it one time because they weren't as enthusiastic as the Seattle audience. So okay, here is your question for tonight.
Okay.
You did watch the last film.
I did.
Okay.
I was here. I did watch it.
Well, then you know the number to call if you see anything suspicious. It is your duty. Information, and give us the information for your own safety and protection. What number do you call? 44811. Very good. That totalitarian shit works. Okay, fantastic. And for knowing that, and for being a good citizen, you get Blu-ray of Murder My Sweet and a Blu-ray of Hell on Frisco Bay with Alan Webb and Edward G. Robinson. And that's not the only person who wins tonight. Our donation drive winner is who will be winning. Oh man, this is fantastic. Fantagraphic Books here in Seattle donated Voodoo Vengeance, a collection of horror comics by my personal favorite, Johnny Craig. Love Johnny Craig. And Jeff Loomis, you are going home with that book. And also another Blu-ray of Murder My Sweet, Mary Fields, who I was just talking to in the lobby. Mary, go and get your Blu-ray of Murder My Sweet after the movie. Okay. Okay, as I was saying, wasn't that an uplifting, fun-filled experience? Wow. Okay. Now, the film that you're about to see, this is a movie made by a man named Gary Weiss, who had an amazing career because he was a filmmaker in Czechoslovakia early on in the 1930s, who fled when the Nazis took over, and then he went and worked in England. And then he returned to Czechoslovakia just in time to have the communists take over. But he was a major filmmaker in Czechoslovakia. So when a man named Robert Strauss decided that he wanted to make a British-Czech co-production, because at this time, 1965, the Czech New Wave was like a big thing. It was the hottest thing in international cinema. And Robert Strauss said, we're going to be able to do a British-Czech co-production. It was evident that Gary Weiss was the guy to direct this picture. It is written by David Mercer, who was a very popular angry young man playwright in Britain. And he wrote this as an original screenplay. Strauss produced it, and his wife, Anne Haywood, is the star of the movie, is the female lead in the movie. The very interesting thing about this film is that there were two versions released. The idea behind this was the man who plays I'm going to say he plays the antagonist in this film, but one of the interesting things about this movie is you're not really sure who the antagonist is as the film develops. Who's the good guy, who's the bad guy in this movie? You're not really sure. But Rudolph Sherinsky is the actor who is the most unlikely movie star. But he was a big star in Czechoslovakia. One of the most famous books in the Czech language is The Good Soldier Schweik. And he played that character in the movie version. And he had been acting for many years, from the 1930s on. He was a handsome young man. And in this movie, he looks like a bank teller or something. You can't believe that this guy is a huge movie star, but he was one of the most popular actors in Czechoslovakia. They even have a statue of him in his hometown there now. And some of you may even know him from a really intense movie made in Czechoslovakia called The Cremator, that was made a few years after this film, which is another just masterpiece of Czech cinema. And James Booth is her co-star in this movie. And he was not yet a huge star, but he looked like he was going to be a big deal. He made a big impression in Zulu for Cy Enfield. And I learned something very odd about this guy. His acting career kind of petered out, and he ended up in Hollywood as a screenwriter and was writing like really trashy exploitation movies and things up in through the 80s. Like Ninja Assassin is like written by James Booth, the guy that you're about to see in this movie. This movie is very, very creative. It's an unusual thing. Again, I'm stretching noir because there's no murders. You know, it has a little bit of a Postman Always Rings Twice thing to it, but this is very, very emblematic of New Wave cinema, Czech New Wave cinema at this period. There's some really, really exciting and creative filmmaking, and it's not a young man doing it, because Gary Weiss was on in years when he was making this film. And I'm very happy to say that Anne Haywood, the star of the film, is still with us. She lives in Beverly Hills. We're trying to coax her to come out to the TCM Festival in April in Hollywood, which I really hope happens, because she's a very, very courageous actress. She had a specialty in taking parts that nobody else would really do, including some fabulous nun-sploitation movies that she made in Italy at a certain point. So she is terrific, and you are seeing the English language version of the film tonight, not the Czech version. And so the 4 British actors are speaking English, and all the other Czech actors are dubbed into English. And of course, it was the reverse for the movie that was released in Czechoslovakia. And this version is actually about 11 minutes longer than the Czech version, because in his contract, Gary Weiss stipulated that the version released in Czechoslovakia would be his cut. He had final cut in Czechoslovakia, but Robert Strauss had final cut in the English language version, which meant that he included nude scenes of his wife. So you have that to look forward to. So I hope you enjoy this. It's a bit lighter than the Fifth Horseman. Enjoy 90 Degrees in the Shade.